Eagles. Eagles.
What is going on, everybody? A little breaking news live stream tonight. Didn't expect to be live with you again today. Just wanted to keep everybody posted in Eagle land so you know what's happening across the Eagle universe. After the big win last night, the team moves to 7-2. Some weird news this evening. I want to welcome you all in. Don't forget to hit that like button here. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already. Your number one place for Eagles news on YouTube. Jaire Alexander has stepped away from the Philadelphia Eagles. He informed them today that he wants to step away in order to figure out what is next for him. I don't really know what to make of that outside of, I think, the injuries that he had to his knee, maybe some of the other injuries that he's sustained in his career, maybe are worse than he thought, or maybe he is not as healthy as he thought. I will remind you guys, a week ago, we traded for this guy. 1 week ago, we traded for this guy. I don't know what the heck is going on here. So I don't really know. I see some people saying, what does that even mean? Danny, I don't know what it means. I just wanted to keep everybody posted in Eagle land because that's what we do here on JAKIB. And I saw this break and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Let me load up a stream real quick and go live and discuss the people. Pumper says, can we get our pick back? I'm wondering the same thing. So before we get into some of that, I'm not going to be live too long tonight. Won't be a long video. I just want to keep you posted fully. Jay Glazer was the first person to put it out. And Jay Glazer tweets this. Former Pro Bowl cornerback Jaire Alexander has decided to step away from football to try to focus on getting himself right physically and mentally before deciding on his future. Alexander informed the Eagles of his decision today, LNFL on Fox has learned. Now, you guys know that is agent speak right there, to focus on getting himself right to decide on the future. Look, honestly, I'll say I hope everything is okay with Jaire Alexander. This is a weird thing that happened here. They trade for this guy. They sent a 6th-round pick a week ago. They got back a 7th-round pick and Jaire. So I'm not going to, I'm not too upset about the pick. I do wonder if Howie's making some calls like, hey, can I get my draft pick back for this guy? What the hell is this? I don't know. I wonder if that's what happened. But I will say it's a little weird, man. The guy steps away. You had the same thing with Zadarius Smith who joined. He stepped away. It was a little fishy when he opted, or the Eagles opted, to not fly him out to Green Bay. So he didn't even join the team on their trip to Green Bay yesterday. They obviously have returned since from that trip, and they got the win. I guess the good news here, everybody, is at least Jalen Phillips looks like he's going to work, all right? At least Jalen Phillips looks like he's going to work. But Jaire Alexander steps away. I'll see if there's any other information kind of on this. I know that we traded for him last week, obviously. We traded the 2026 6th-round pick, and we got back the 2027 7th-round pick. And now he's stepping away from the team and contemplating his future. Now, I know some people are going to say, is there another corner we should go and get? Should we look for a new trade? Should we look for a different player? I don't know if that's necessary. I see Maurice in the chat talking about Stephon Gilmore. I don't know if any of that's necessary. I think we still do have a lot of corners on this team, but I'm kind of like you guys on this. I'm just like, what is this news? We traded for this guy a week ago. A.J. Brown was joking with him in the locker room. They were interviewing him in the locker room a little bit ago. So I don't know what the hell is going on here with Jaire Alexander. I'll say this. I hope everything's okay with him. I hope mentally he's okay and everything like that. Obviously, you always hope that players are well and healthy mentally and physically. So, but, it's almost a little weird from Jaire from a sense of you get traded and then a week later you do this. Did he not want to do what it took to maybe get on the field in Philly? Did he not want to go back to the grind of learning a new system, a new scheme? Is he not healthy? Is he mentally not right? I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to go here. I'm sure we'll learn a little bit more as it unfolds. It kind of just broke. So I went live pretty quick because I'm sitting here at my studio. I'm doing some work. And I'm like, yeah, let me jump on live to keep everybody updated. So I do want to welcome everybody in and thank you all for being here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, your number one spot for Philadelphia Eagles content day in and day out. But Is this a concerning trend? I mean, I don't know. Is it more Jaire, do we think, or I don't know. I mean, you had Zadarius Smith who came here for for a cup of tea. He had a decent couple of weeks, and then he bailed. Jaire Alexander gets traded here, and then he bails. Is it something with the team? Is it something with these players? Part in my heart, I guess that's not the right way to say it, but my gut feeling on this is I don't know if he's ready, to learn a new system at this point. At this point of the season, remember it is going into week 11 now. Learning a new system, maybe recovering still from injuries, some of these other things. It's a really interesting phenomenon, though, what's going on here with these players retiring. I don't know that I ever recall something like this happening in the past where you get players or you sign players and they go back into retirement. It almost feels like we could blink and Brandon Graham could announce the same thing. I'm going back into retirement. They got all these edge rushers now. They don't need me in the rotation, man. Josh Uche didn't get any snaps last week all of a sudden. So I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm with Joe. Joe, I'll second this. I want the pick back. I know I said I'm not sweating the pick, but I will say this is pretty weird. Let me text John and see if if he's got any insight. All right, I'll text John and see if he's available. He probably isn't. I really don't want to bother John with this, to be honest with you. Any insight on this Jaire stuff? I'll text John now and see if he gets back to me. Really weird, though. I mean, that would be my number one takeaway. This is just weird, I'll see if John can join. If not, I did text him to see if he has any intel on it. But very interesting thing that's happening here. And Joe says he wants his pick back. Joe, I can't disagree. Ryan, what's up, my brother? I appreciate everybody for being here tonight. I didn't expect to be live again today, guys. We had plenty of content. We were live up until I think about 3 a.m. last night. We were live again this morning. We were live on the National Football Show. So a whole lot of content in the last 24 hours for everybody. Hey, look, I hope everybody, I know it's a Victory Tuesday for everybody in Philly, so I don't want this to cloud your Victory Tuesday after the Eagles did beat Green Bay, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense. I think Samuel just signed. Didn't he just sign to their active roster or something, Samuel, to the Steelers' active roster? Or was that signed to the practice squad? I'm not sure what happened there. So, look, weird news here tonight. Jeffrey says, what the F is happening, Big Z? I don't know, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you're going to have to let me know, my guy. This is one of those scenarios where I don't think I can inform you on what's happening here. This is a collective conversation where we will all have to make of it what we will. I know, honestly, though, in my gut, I don't think Jaire I don't think he's fully healthy. I don't know if mentally he's in the right state of mind. I don't want to speak on that too much. And I don't know if he's at this age, at this time of the year, if he's ready to kind of pick up a new scheme and a new system, and feel like he can contribute this year. Maybe he has family in another area, and he just kind of was like, this isn't worth it. I don't know. I think he's making the vet minimum. Maybe he's obviously had a lucrative career in the NFL, so maybe he just kind of called it quits from that perspective. I just want to say something, and I hope people don't take this the wrong way, but I'm going to stop being a buttercup for a second. Assuming Jaire is healthy mentally, what the fuck? What are you, a quitter? You just walk out on a team that trades for you a week ago? Again, assuming everything's okay with him mentally, and that's obviously first priority. I would never, say that if something was wrong in that perspective. But, I mean, what the F? Really weird that Jaire Alexander has walked away from the team, making all this money, and I'm with you, Vince, making millions and not going to work. Vince, I'm good. I'm out. I'll see you guys later. Hey, thanks for trading for me. Appreciate you. If I'm the Ravens, I'm probably laughing right now. I don't know. Here's Roll Philly says, you told me after last night we got Phillips for a 3rd and a 6-7 swap. Well, that's true. Roll Philly. I said earlier, I'm not really sweating the pick, to be honest with you. But that's not what we sent for Phillips. We sent the 6 for Jaire, and the dude just walks away from the team a week later. I don't know. It's a weird, He says he did not. Your info, it's wrong. What's my info wrong? I don't have any wrong info. I'll pull it up right now. Jay Glazer put it out. I'll pull it up for the Stooges who have to come in here and say, oh, my God, it's wrong. You're wrong because I didn't see it yet. There's always – leave it to these Nimrods who need all this attention to come in and say you're wrong. All right, let me show you the proof if you don't want to believe it, all right? Let me show you the proof of what they put out. Jay Glazer and all these other people. John McMullen retweeted it. Let's pull up the tweet because this guy can't handle the conversation. Arthur, too. Fake news. All right, everybody. All right. Let's pull up Jay Glazer. Here's Jay Glazer. Here's his tweet. Former Pro Bowl cornerback. Can everybody read that? Does everybody have an understanding on how to read? Do I need to walk you through reading as well? Is that something you might need help with? There you go. I'll even zoom in on it for you. All right. Does that help, Arthur? Arthur, you got that, buddy. Ready? Sound it out. Former Pro Bowl cornerback Jaire Alexander has decided to step away from football to try and focus on getting himself right physically and mentally. Alexander informed the Eagles of his decision today. Okay? All right. There you go. All right, everybody. I appreciate the concern, okay? You're reading it too fast. Thank you, Tree Mouse. Maybe I'll try it. You can put it on half speed. I think YouTube allows you to lower how fast I can read. All right. So you can do that. You can put it on like 0.25 speed if you need. That might be. So roll Philly. Obviously, he's contemplating retirement here. I mean, obviously, that's what this means. He steps away from the team, and they said contemplating the future. So look, maybe he's unhealthy. That's why I didn't want to say, I didn't want to come out and just bash the guy right away because maybe he's contemplating retirement. Maybe something mentally is wrong. Again, I hope everything is good there. That goes with that should go without saying, I will say. But I will say that again. Hope everything's okay with Jaire. Part of me thinks he just didn't want to come, learn a new system, get healthy and acclimated to the point where he could be on the team at his age, maybe in a city where he probably didn't want to be. He probably got to Philly last week. He's shopping for an apartment. He's looking down and he's like, nah, I'm good. He's looking for an apartment in Philly and he's like, you know what? Screw this. Calls the realtor. I'm out of here, dude. Cancel the apartment contract. I'm going home. I don't know where his family is, but, maybe that was a part of it. I don't think there's nothing been reported about that, so I don't want to speak out of line. I'm just reading to you what Jay Glazer put. Let's put it back up. Getting himself right physically and mentally before deciding on his future. It would have been nice if he made that decision about a week ago before we sent a pick for the guy. But it is what it is. Jaire Alexander will not make an impact. It's funny because on the post-game show last night, somebody was saying to me, hey, we got Jaire Alexander. And I said to him, whoa, buddy, pump the brakes. I don't know what Jaire Alexander is going to be for this team. And here we are. Looks like Jaire Alexander will never play snap in Eagle Green. Okay? Looks like Jaire Alexander will never play snap in Eagle Green. And you're right, Cal. His body might be toast. I don't know what it means. He was born in Philly. Is that right? I didn't even know that. Is he a Philly guy? I didn't know that. He's a greater Philly guy? Okay, I did not know that. Now, it doesn't mean he lives here now, but yeah, he went to Rocky River High School. Look at that. No, that's in North Carolina. I thought that was in Jersey. I'm thinking of a different school. He was born in Philly. Jaire Alexander was born in Philly. That is weird. AJ Brown's a bully. AJ called him his son, and he was out. He rolled out. Let me get to my super chat. Lucius, thank you, buddy. Lucius says it's not with the team. If it was Jalen Phillips, wouldn't be over the moon. But I want to say let's not bring anyone else in. Well, I don't think they are bringing anybody else in. All right. But, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, look, Jalen Phillips makes up for it. At least that trade worked. But it is weird. I mean, you get traded somewhere and a week later you just hang up the cleats. I mean, look, who knows? Who freaking knows, I go to work every day. I'm assuming you all do the same. Jaire says, I'm done. All right. He realized Nick is nuts. Can I get some theories in the chat? Can everybody in the chat give me some theories on what's going on here? Pumper says, Xander, you think these two bums would try to rejoin the team if it gets close to the postseason? Pumper, I'd tell them to kick rocks if it gets close to the postseason and they want to join the team. Does anybody have a theory here on what's going on? Wrong answers only. How about that? I need a theory on Jaire Alexander, and I need wrong answers only, okay? Wrong answers only on Jaire. He got Son on repeat in his mind. Nick tried to throw the game last night. I don't think that's it. Dude probably just wants to get healthy and retire. Sue, honestly, my gut is that. That's my gut, Sue. That's my gut. Devin White 2.0, he wanted to play against the Packers. Hey, that's a good theory. He wanted to play versus old team. They didn't even fly him out to Green Bay. And he said, peace, I'm out of here. I am out of here. Blew a pick on this dude. Yeah, Harold, I don't know what's up with that. Big Dom found out he didn't like cannolis. I have a question. What does this mean for our pick? Jay, I have no idea. I think that pick is done and dusted. Goodbye, 6th rounder. That's what I think it is. Not a fan of cheesesteaks. He saw Ringo and pissed down his leg. It can't be that. He said, wait, Petula is y'all offensive coordinator? I'm out. At 24-25, one of the best cornerbacks in football at 28 is retiring. I don't know what to say. Kurt, so true, man. He was amazing when he was in Green Bay. When he was in his prime, he was a great player, man. Now it's me to have the now it's me, the one have to go to the doctor, count him, and the one, I don't know what you're saying there, dude. English, Michael. Nick says, Jaire quit because Jalen Carter breast stank. That's a good one. Not really, but AJ stole his woman. I'm not going down that road. He knew he could never beat a Dory. That's brutal if that's the case. AJ meme. I don't know. Guys, it's really weird, honestly. I just wanted to come live because I wanted to keep everybody posted on the news. I saw it on Twitter, and I'm like, let me update everybody across the JAKIB Sports YouTube channel and across the network. So thanks, everybody, for being here. Let me see if John answered me. Nope, no answer from John. Probably busy. All good. All good. But very interesting news here on a Tuesday night after the Eagles win. All right, Zadarius rolls out. Jaire Alexander has not rolled out, or has now rolled out. Is it Philly? Is it us? Is it Jacob? Are we scaring these people off? Are we scaring? Is it the Philadelphia fan base? Is it Jalen Hurts' stoicism? Is it Bobo Patullo? I don't know, man. I don't know. Trey, any theories, my friend? It's the Jalenites. Maybe it's the Jalenites because Kevin blows. That might be it. J-Mac trying to keep up on that sleep, kept them up late. Yeah, well, that's all right. Welcome to work, Denny. I don't make no damn excuses. Too many divas in Philly. Yeah, maybe. These dudes supposed to be gladiator. I don't know. He saw Zadarius Smith and said, I'm out too. Nad, what do you make of it, Nad? Our resident 49er fan. Nad, what are you thinking over there, Nad? What are you thinking over there, Niners all damn day? By the way, did the Sixers start yet? The Sixers 7 or 8 tonight. Sixers start their games earlier normally. Let me pull them up. 8. All right, beautiful. 8, Celtics. What's that on tonight? All right, NBC. All right, I'll be watching the Sixers. I got my Sixer hoodie on. How's that? Nike Sixer hoodie. Pretty fire, right? Pretty fire. But, Harold, appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here. Hit that like button, all right, dude? If you're here and you enjoyed the content, I always just want to keep you guys posted. If I ever see news and I'm at my computer, you guys know I always go live. I'm always looking to make some content for you guys, great people of JAKIB Nation. Make the tumor curmudgeon show, Sills and J-Mac. That would boil over quick. Nad says, McKee Army is growing by the day. Well, I just posted up an interesting video on the channel if you want to go and see it. It's my boy Underdog, and not everybody likes Underdog. I happen to love Underdog because, one, he's a great supporter of this channel, and two, he's a real-ass dude. I like people from Philly who are real-ass people. And he's kind of the leader of the McKee Army at this point, but I posted that video up. He was on the post-game show last night. It was pretty good. Jay says I'm cool. Jay, I think you're pretty cool too. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. All right. I appreciate that. We need Asante. Thanks a lot, Jaire. Asante, I thought Asante signed today with Pittsburgh. I thought was it just the practice squad, or did he sign with Pittsburgh? All right. I thought that it was he signed with Pittsburgh, but maybe it was just the practice squad. So let me see if I can find that real quick, because I did see that break earlier today. By the way, I saw what's his name? Travis Hunter's out for the season too. Tough break. That kid's not going to play both positions his whole career, man. Can't do that. That's never going to work. I'm telling you. Yeah, so he signed with the practice squad for the Steelers. So hey, maybe sign with the practice squad. Danky says, "Do we get our pick?" I think this is going to be the obvious question here. Dank, I don't have the answer to this yet, but I don't know. Jags just pump. I don't know why they did that. That was stupid. That player's not that good. He's a good player, but he ain't 2 first for that. We're not getting our pick back. Done and dusted. All right. Let's sign Zander for cornerback too. I got some in me. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That won't be good. All right. I do not think we're getting our pick back though. No, I don't know in what world where we would get a pick back. That makes yeah, Baltimore Ravens are saying no refunds. What's the GM over there? Eric DaCosta? No. Yeah, is it Eric DaCosta? No. Yeah, Eric DaCosta. Eric DaCosta blocked Howie's number. Said trade deadline's over. Goodbye. Click, block. I'm out. All right. Yeah, Curtis, I'll hook you over the wrench if you're over on the website. I got you, brother. All right. Jaire, the issue with his knee might be that's kind of what I was saying earlier. I hope it's not mental or anything like that. You know, I hope he's not having any mental breakdowns or anything. But I just think that's like a sensitive thing in the NFL world. Like, obviously, with what happened to Marshawn Nealon last week, rest in peace to Marshawn Nealon. But I think it's the health. I think it's the health of the player. I think he stepped away because, look, learning a new system, week 11 in the NFL, and, you know, maybe he's just like, new city, my family's not here, I don't want to learn it, I don't know how healthy I am. I got a feeling you're going to be seeing a Jaire Alexander retirement soon. So, but yeah, he quit. He quit on the Eagles. So Jaire Alexander has quit on the Eagles. Where's the dude who was on the post-game show last night telling me, fear not, Zander, Jaire Alexander is here to save cornerback too. I tried to tell the guy that was a ludicrous thought process, but hey, sometimes Eagles fans get mad at me because I give them a dose of the truth. All right? I give them a dose of the truth. I need Hurts to quit. All right, Pump, that's too far. Illuminati says, WTF happened. No idea what happened. All right. David, I think you're speaking real truth here. It's a shame for how gifted he was a few years ago. He was truly an amazing football player, man. When he was with Green Bay in his prime, he was really good. One of the top corners in the league. One of the top corners in the league. So, James says, wait, what happened? Jaire Alexander just stepped away from football. That's what happened. We traded for the guy a week ago, James, and he stepped away from football a week later. I think we traded for him on Tuesday's deadline. Or was it? No, it was like the weekend. That's right. It was like Saturday, last Saturday. That's right. Yeah. Obi John says, what the F has happened? I got no idea, my friend. I got no idea. Alex says, we'll be fine. All right. Let me just answer this so that everybody knows. This was not a show to say we are not fine because of this. We are absolutely going to be fine. Jaire Alexander leaving basically means not a whole lot for our team, okay? Let's not get carried away. Alex, I appreciate your comment. Let's not get carried away here. This is not to say, holy moly, we're cooked. No, not at all, all right? We're fine. It's just news, all right? It's news. That's all. He passed the physical with that screw up. Maybe It's a good question because in order for a trade to go through, you know, you got to pass a physical. So, yeah. I mean, look, I do want to be somewhat, you know, sensitive about if there's something wrong with them in terms of that. Like, I don't know. So I hope everything's okay with Jaire, but he did quit on the Eagles today. So it is what it is. In-season Hard Knocks is going to be good, man. When does that thing come out? Ocean, what's up, dude? LMAO, man. The people that like Fangio really like him, but the ones that really don't want nothing to do with the guy. You think could be that? Could be that. Vic might be a tough guy to play for. It's got to be mental. David, I'm kind of hoping it's not that, but it feels like it might be, which is why I've kind of been tiptoeing around that. I hope obviously everything's all right, but will we get our pick back? This seems to be the most common question tonight. I'm going to say no, like 0% chance. Like Eric DaCosta hung up the phone on Howie, blocked the number, said, I'll talk to you in the summer when you can trade again. I don't want to talk to you, Howie. I got nothing to say to you. All right. I got nothing to say to you. All right. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. A little of a surprise little stream tonight. All right. To give you guys the news. Always try and keep everybody updated. Thanks for being here. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the JAKIB Sports YouTube channel if you're not already. All right. For the Sixers fans out there, enjoy the game tonight. Per rules, the pick is dusted. Good. And Paul, here's John. I'm still on. John might join me. One sec. John might join me. Alex, John might join me. Let's see if John wants to join me. I'll send him the link. Let's see if I can get John up here. I'm gonna laugh. I have a feeling John might be laughing about this because he said you still on. That's like a classic. Like, yeah, let me join in here and give my piece on this. 1 second, everybody. I'm not leaving yet. I'm not leaving yet until I get some confirmation from John. We'll see. We'll see if Johnny Mac joins in and has anything to say. It is weird though, Jaire steps away. You had Zadarius Smith like randomly retire after he kind of had a decent production for the Eagles. It is a little bit of a weird situation. All right. It is a little bit of a weird situation. I will say. Here's John. Let's see what John has to say. John's joining me right now. Big thanks to Johnny Mac for stepping out tonight in a random breaking news bit. John, what's going on, man? What the heck is going on with this?
Yeah, I mean, it was a situation where Jaire can confirm he informed the team today that he's stepping away for now. He's not claiming retirement yet, but he's having a lot more trouble with this knee than had been let on. So I think from the standpoint, you kind of saw it when the Eagles ruled him out Saturday. The goal was to sort of get him ready later in the season. And hopefully, you catch lightning, and they would have been able to help at that point. It was never going to be about immediacy. They were trying to get him healthy. He cited both physical and mental health reasons, so obviously he's dealing with it from that perspective as well. So he's going through some stuff, and it's unfortunate, but I warned people this a number of times, big name trap, and not from the standpoint of descending. He's not healthy. He's not the same player he once was, and wasn't going to be at least early. And as I said, the long-term goal was maybe if Adoree Jackson failed, if Keely Ringo failed, if Jacorian Bennett failed, maybe he would hit. So you got those four corners, and maybe one of them would sort of latch on to that cornerback 2 spot. And I think Adoree Jackson played pretty well last night, certainly his best game as an Eagle. But, a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think it makes a huge impact on the field. I just kind of thought it was like weird news. You know what I mean? Like trade from a week
nobody
ago,
expected it. Nobody expected it coming.
Yeah.
So. But I mean, and it's interesting because he was here last week and he was very excited and he seemed, a little bit reborn to get back in a situation where maybe he was wanted and needed, and the mental part of it is tough. And who knows? Maybe he had a setback with the knee, maybe the grind, and but
if the knee was that bad, how did he pass the physical?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, a lot of guys in the NFL play through a lot of things, and it's not like a physical for 100% perfection. It's can you play? And he played a little bit in Baltimore. He had been a healthy scratch recently. They described him as a healthy scratch, but clearly he's nowhere near 100%. But if you held up Uh, think about how many surgeries Landon Dickerson has had in his life at this
Yeah.
point. I think he's at 13. Uh, so their physicals are sort of like, can you hold up to the rigors of the NFL? It's not like about a perfect bill of health. So
Yeah, right.
I think that's, one thing people should understand. So, and he passed the physical in Baltimore and he passed the physical here. So, I mean, he's capable of playing. He was playing there, but the part is this is a two-time former all. Like I said, he was at one time one of the best cover corners in the NFL, and to not be able to perform at that level probably, it's messing with him a little bit,
Yeah.
as well. So, from a football standpoint, you don't want to be harsh, but I don't think it's going to impact the team. I didn't think it was a big acquisition to begin with, and you feel for a player who's still only 28 and was a high level player, and he may never get back to that standpoint, but he did phrase it as getting right, mentally and physically. So, maybe if he takes, the rest of the season off, maybe he can come back somewhere else down the road, and be healthier, and become a better option for somebody. But yeah, that's just one you chalk up as a dart throw, and it didn't work.
Yeah. John, just real quick clarity on this. A lot of people are asking me. I told them it's done and dusted, but you'll be able to speak more clearly on it than I will. That pick that we sent for Jaire, that thing is gone, right? There's a no refund policy. Eric DaCosta has blocked Howie's number now that the deadline has passed, right?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I mean, that's uncertain right now, and I did ask already, but I haven't gotten an answer yet.
Oh, so
So
you're not telling me though it's definitive one way or the other.
no, well, the trade went through, so you would think it's definitive, but
Right.
I'm not. In this happens so rarely. I can't
Yeah,
say.
right. This is a weird situation.
Yeah, I can't say 100%. So I did email Mike Signora at the NFL, and he'll get back to me eventually, but it'll probably take a little while. So it is a strange situation. So there might be some recourse. My guess is there won't be, but that's just a guess. I can't say that with 100% certainty. And hopefully I get more clarity on that. But obviously it just broke. So, um, and I think it was remember I believe they gave up a 2026 sixth.
Yep, that's what
They
it
were
was.
also getting a 2027 seventh. So if
Yep.
they're going to get back that sixth, they're going to have to get back the seventh, obviously. So,
Yeah.
but I think it'll stand. But that's just, like I said, that's just my speculation, because this is sort of, I think it'll be regarded as sort of an act of God, as you said. He passed the physical. He was playing in Baltimore. My guess is it will stand, and it will just count as just something out of left field that happened. But I can't say that with 100% certainly, but I'm pretty confident it'll shake out that way.
Yeah, John, real quick, two final questions for you. I'll let you go on. Appreciate you checking on tonight. Didn't expect to be doing a breaking news hit. Did the fact that it was Green Bay this week have anything to do with this? No, right? That's it.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
I mean, when he wasn't traveling, I thought, well, maybe they didn't want him to go through going back there and all the rigmarole, because he's not going to play. But not anything nefarious. I mean,
Yeah, right.
of not getting shut down. But it was mainly, health related. When they did rule him out, the news sort of behind the scenes was they wanted to make sure to get him on the right plan, to get the rehab plan, to get the knee as healthy as possible to help later in the season. So it was definitely health related more than certainly Green Bay. It very little to do with it.
Yeah. John, final question here. Do you think the Eagles will try and bring in another body? Like Asante Samuel Jr. got signed to the Steelers practice squad today. Not to say that would be the name, but No, right? They're just going to rock with who they have.
No.
Right.
Well, Ja'Cory Bennett, tomorrow's the last day they have to activate him off that'll be the last day of his 21-day practice window. So I was a little bit concerned that maybe they would just keep him on injured reserve because they have to make a roster move to put him on there. But now that Jaire's not going to be in the mix at all, it's pretty much 100% certain he's going to be activated tomorrow for practice. So he'll be back, and yeah, you're going to roll with Adoree, Jackson, Keely Ringo, and Ja'Cory Bennett, and that should be enough. If last night is any indication, they got enough good players to mask a little bit of a deficiency at that position.
Yeah. All right, John. Good stuff, man. Thanks for doing it tonight. We're pretty weird, though, man. Zadarius Smith hangs up the cleats on this team, and then Jaire Alexander just walks out, John.
Well, I'm sure you'll have the people that, they can't stand the environment and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he just got here, and he was very excited to be here.
Yeah.
So clearly he's going through some stuff, and specifically, mental health, and you saw what happened with Marshawn Nealon last week, and a lot of people are dealing with stuff. These guys aren't video game players, and they're human beings, and he's clearly having trouble with his physical abilities declining, and maybe that's affecting him. So
yeah,
it's one of those things. I always go back to Bill Parcells, the greatest line ever. Advice to coaches: 4 or 5 things happen every day in the NFL you don't want to happen, and if you can't deal with it, get another job.
Yep, so true. John, thanks for joining tonight, brother. I'll talk to you in the morning on Birds 365.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, thanks, J-Mac. There's Johnny Mac, John McMullen, joining me right here on a special breaking news edition here tonight. Appreciate John for taking some time to give us some clarity. So interesting, I do think John did say he can't with 100% certainty say yet on the pick. So we'll kind of keep you posted on that, but it doesn't seem like we're going to get that pick back. Obviously, hope Jaire is good. Happy to get John in here to give that information. Weird. Jaire Alexander gone. Love all you guys, man. Appreciate everybody for being here tonight. Little special breaking news. It's now 7:53. I got to watch the Sixers tonight. So let me get out of here. I got to do some work. I'm going to toss on the Sixers in the studio back here. All right, I'm going to show you guys. I got the TV over there. There it is, the TV. I'll be tossing the Sixers up on there. All right, tossing the Sixers up on there. Got the sweatshirt on. Love all you guys, man. Hit the like button. I'll catch you guys in the morning for another live stream. And if you're looking for more content, I got a bunch of posts still to make on the channel tonight. We'll have, obviously, my segment with Cilio was great today. We'll have Mark Tressman. I'll post him up. He was excellent. Cilio's reaction. I just posted up Underdog, who joined the show last night. So plenty of content on the channel will be going up. Appreciate all of you guys. Curtis, I'll wrench you up tomorrow when I'm back on YouTube. I'm on StreamYard now, so can't do it from here. But appreciate all of you guys. And hit that like button on the way out. If you missed the show, Brandon, you just checked in, rewatch from the beginning, and I also just had Johnny Mac on. All right, so he gave me some clarity as well. Hit that like button, everybody. See you next time.
EAGLES Eagles.